Hello again, whiskey friends. Thanks for joining me, everybody, for a special episode here to start fulfilling one of my 2024 whiskey goals. And that was to drink more Scotch whiskey over the course of 2024, get to know the category a bit more, and get to know what I like. Now, on my journey, some special whiskey friends have provided me some samples, either in the past or some samples are on the way to help me with this. And today we are going to be comparing one of my favorite Scotch whiskeys. This is the Bunnahabhain 12 year. This is one I recommend to so many people that are looking to get into Scotch. $60, 12 years, absolutely amazing pour. Now, within this conversation, one of the things I was recently conversing about with the whiskey friend was how different the age statements are on Scotch versus bourbon. Now, both him and I have more experience with the bourbon category, so moving from a 12-year age statement to something higher has a very drastic difference in the flavor profile. When he said that, I was like, ah, man, I don't think I've ever done that comparison with Scotch before. I was going back through my samples and found a sample of Bunnahabhain 18 year from a very special whiskey friend. So, on this video, I get to compare the two and I get to learn what the differences are between these two pours and finally what this 18-year tastes like. I have never had this before. So, thank you for joining me today, whiskey friends. Let's kick off the show. All right. So I've got the Bunnahabhain sample. This is the 18 year poured into a Hello Again whiskey friend Glen. And then I've got the 12 year poured into an OG Glen here with the Scotch test dummies. And I will be comparing these two. Now, with the Bunnahabhain, either the 12 year or the 18 year, we are looking at a Isla Scotch, though a lot of people do associate Isla with being peated. Uh, while some notes of smokiness I have gotten on the 12 year before, it is not a peated Scotch. And I do believe primarily these are aged in sherry casks, which is something that definitely intrigues me. If you've been following the channel for a while, I do love some sherry finished whiskeys. That's probably what draws me to this Bunnahabhain 12 year in the first place. In my research of the 18 year before I hopped into this video, we are looking at ABV of 46.3%. And this was aged in sherry casks as well for 18 years. Now, strikingly, going on to the difference in age, I'm actually very surprised at the difference in color. So that's one thing that does stick out to me right away is that beautiful amber of the 18 year compared to that more darkish cedar of the 12 year. So, what I plan to learn coming out of this is the difference between these two, if there's a difference in the flavors, in the profile, and what we get as the age statement increases. Would love to hear from you. If you have had either of these pours, what do you take away from these pours? If you've gone them both, which one do you prefer? Hmm. I've already got probably a biased attitude towards this, but we're going to take it step by step. But love to hear your opinions on these. Well, cheers, whiskey friends. I'm going to go into the 12 year first. So, up front, gosh, on the nose, lots of fruits. Coming from that sherry, a bit of iodine there. Salted pretzel, sea salt taffy. Just very, I don't know, comforting and inviting. Pretty good winter pour, I must say. Good to the taste. Hmm. Man, a lot of raisins. Very, very sweet pour. Mm. Getting a bit of the same flavors that I got on the nose too. That skin of the pretzel, sea salt, and then that sea salt taffy. Reminds me of Hilton Head. That taffy that you get at Hilton Head on a beach vacation. Hmm. All right. Let's get into the 18 year. Now, I must say, I've had this sample for quite a bit. I'm glad to finally be digging into it. I didn't realize how expensive the 18-year was until I looked it up, but it was ranging between 250 and $400 a bottle. So that is a very, very special sample right there. Would love to hear a confirmation of the bottle price and what you see it for. Cheers, everybody. Oh, they're similar, but oh my gosh, the depth on the 18-year compared to the 12-year. That iodine note is definitely put into the background of the 18-year. It's still there, but it's not as predominant as it was on the 12-year. The fruits definitely emerge here. It makes me think of a charcuterie board, but not necessarily with the cheese. If you had a blackberry preserve, the dates, honey drizzled on it, figs, um, but essentially all kind of the garnishes, and I guess that you have around a charcuterie board. Man, the honey and the dates really emerges there. That's a really good note. Now, in terms of the age difference itself, I mean, it's more refined, it's more complex. Not necessarily what I usually attribute to age on a whiskey, given my bourbon background here, where you get that deep oak into the tobacco, leather kind of furniture varnish, kind of a flavor profile. The extra age doesn't add that, it just adds refinement and a deep richness. I think that the flavors themselves are more pronounced. I am in love with this nose on the 18. I could just sit here and pick this thing apart. That's always the downfall of doing these type of things for the videos. Kind of just want to sit down with this one for quite a while. Let's get into the taste. Mm. Okay, that's right up my alley. Oh my gosh. Oh, that is lovely. Uh, Flavors for the most part match the nose. I'm going to go right back to it. You're talking about going back to the stewed fruits, maybe not as sweet as that blackberry preserve I was saying on the nose. The dates and the honey still stick out to me quite a bit. I'm gonna go in for another sip. That taffy's still there. Less of that sea salt pretzel skin I was saying earlier, but that taffy's definitely still there, especially on the finish. That finish is predominantly that taffy to me. Oh, that is a lovely, lovely pour. Oh my gosh. Very impressed with the Bunnahabhain 18. Got to get to know, though, the difference between the 12-year and the 18-year. As far as I can tell thus far on my Scotch journey, the extra age just adds maybe refinement and I guess a depth of flavors. Maybe it turns the volume up on some flavors, but still, there's no oak profile that I would essentially attribute to most age statements. I am in love with this 18, though. Oh, I got a big blast of sherry on that one. So, one thing I hear about quite a bit is the concept of a sherry bomb when it comes to scotch. Let me know if this is the definition of a sherry bomb so I can start imprinting that in my head. But this is probably now the foundation of what I'm going to think about when I think about a sherry bomb. What a lovely, lovely pour. I am so excited to sit down with the rest of the sample here and just go enjoy it while I'm relaxing. But that was, gosh, that might be one of the best scotches that I've had thus far. There is something about this particular pour that I need to kind of pick apart and understand why I love it so much and why it makes me smile. But this one does excite me. So, if you've had the Bunnahabhain 18-year yourself, I would love to hear your opinions. And if you have any recommendations based on my reaction to the Bunnahabhain 18, I would love to know where to go from here. So that concludes today's live tasting of the Bunnahabhain 18. I am pretty blown away, and this is the first time I've gotten to do a age-stated comparison of the same general product. I know there's going to be some variability in the batches here, but same general product to kind of understand the difference. Bit intrigued by that difference in the color. It sticks out a bit more than I thought, and yeah, just that roundness of the flavors. I'm kind of excited. Let's continue this journey, and I need your help to do so. So once again, let me know if you got any suggestions in the comments, and we'll do some more tastings as we go throughout the year. So thank you for joining me today, whiskey friends. We'll catch you on the next Scotch tasting. Goodbye, everybody.
Jeff, just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again.